Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class we are going to discuss about polarization. So it is next most important property of light. In the same chapter we discussed interference, diffraction and now polarization. So these three are the most important properties of light. Regarding the wave nature, we are in a discussion, right? Okay. So in our previous chapter, we focused on reflection and refraction. So the same properties here also we discussed, but after completion of reflection and refraction, we discussed about the interference of two waves and then we discussed the diffraction, and now we are in a discussion about polarization. Okay ma? Right. See here. So regarding the polarization of light, first of all we have to understand the term what is meant by polarization. I hope you already know what is meant by polarity. What is meant by polarity, right? So here changing the direction. In deep, you know very well what is a light, right? So according to that electromagnetic wave picture of light, so it consists of oscillating electric field and a magnetic field which are oscillating perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. So here also we are in a discussion about the waves, that is what characteristics of a wave, that is what wavelength and time period, angular frequency and frequency, and the equation of waves also. You can see here, see this, a small observable thing from our daily life. You just consider holding a long string that is held horizontally, the other end of which, so the other end of the string is assumed to be fixed. So we fixed to a hook to the wall, but there are two ends, no? So one end is fixed to the wall, the other end, if we move the end of the string up and down in a periodic manner, then automatically you can see a wave pattern in that string. That is what we will generate a wave propagating in the positive x direction, right? Such a wave could be described by the equation that is y of x comma t. So x is the position, t is the time, y is indicating the displacement of the particle. That is what y of x comma t is equal to a sin kx minus omega t. A sin kx minus omega t. So here you are seeing two pictures. So it is what this picture shows that the curve, this curve, so these curves, this is 1, 2, 3 like that. So these all the curves represents the displacement of a string at t is equal to 0 and t is equal to delta t respectively, when a sinusoidal wave is propagating in the positive x direction. You can see this one ma. So here the wave is propagating along positive x direction, no? So these curves represents the displacement of a string at t is equal to 0 and t is equal to delta t. So it is t is equal to 0, it is t is equal to delta t. So there is some time gap. Similarly, the next picture. So this is what this picture, these the curves which are present in this picture represents the time variation of the displacement at x is equal to 0 when a sinusoidal wave is propagating in the positive x direction. So these curves represents the time variation of the displacement at x is equal to 0 when the sine wave, that is what sinusoidal wave, is propagating in the positive x direction. At x is equal to delta x, at x is equal to delta x, the time variation of the displacement will be slightly displaced to the right. At x is equal to delta x, the time variation of the displacement will be slightly displaced to the right. Okay. So that is from this picture, and these two pictures, this is what displacement of a string at different times, that is what t is equal to 0 and t is equal to delta t. When the wave is propagating along positive x direction, it is also the wave is propagating along x direction, but it is the time variation of the displacement, time variation of the displacement at x is equal to 0, right. So this is the wave equation. Here it is the amplitude, small a is the amplitude of the wave, is a sine function, k is the propagation constant. So you can relate propagation constant and wavelength as lambda is equal to 2 pi by k, lambda is equal to 2 pi by k, k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. X is the direction along which the wave is propagating, omega is the angular frequency. So omega is equal to 2 pi n, n is the natural frequency, and t is the time, t is the time. So whole and soul, this is the equation which represents a sinusoidal wave which is propagating along positive x axis here, right. And after that, if you go for the next continuation, see here, due to the displacement is at right angles, observe the wave, observe this picture, due to the displacements, right, due to the displacement is at right angles to the direction of propagation of wave, this is known as transverse wave, right. So in our first year syllabus, that is what oscillations and waves. So there we discussed what about the transverse wave, and what about the longitudinal wave, and what about the progressive wave, and what about the stationary wave. So the types of waves, so we discussed that. So here he is saying that due to the displacement is at right angles to the direction of propagation of wave, direction of propagation of wave, here this is said to be a transverse wave, a transverse wave, right. And if you observe carefully, the displacement is in the y direction, the displacement is in the y direction, then you can also say that y polarized wave, y polarized wave. Next, each point on the string moves in a straight line, each point on the string moves in a straight line, then the wave also referred to as linearly polarized wave, linearly polarized wave, right. So the string always remains confined to the xy plane, the string always confined to the xy plane, therefore it is also called as, it is also referred to as plane polarized wave, plane polarized wave. So the only one thing we are calling with different names. So you just keep in mind why we are giving a certain name. First we are calling it as transverse wave. Why we are calling it as transverse wave? The propagation of, the direction of propagation, the direction of propagation is the direction of propagation or the direction of oscillation, the direction of oscillation of string particles is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So here what is the direction of propagation of wave? It is along positive x axis. So what is the direction of propagation or oscillation of, that is what string particles, it is like this. So these two are having 90 degrees with each other, no, that's why it is called as transverse wave. At the same time, the string particles are having displacement along y axis, that is the reason we can also call it as y polarized wave, y polarized wave. So observe carefully, here I used the word polarized, right? So the direction. Next, what is the displacement, whatever the particle has, whatever the point, each point on the string is along a straight line. So it is also called as linearly polarized, linearly polarized wave. Afterwards, this wave is also fixed to xy plane. The wave is fixed to xy plane. Therefore, it is also referred as plane polarized wave. Plane polarized wave. So the wave, the only one wave, we are calling it as transverse wave and y polarized wave and linearly polarized wave. At last, plane polarized wave. Plane polarized wave, right? Okay. In a similar manner, because it is moving along the positive x-axis, in a similar manner, we can consider the vibration of the string in the xz plane. You can consider the vibration of the string in the xz plane, which is generating a z polarized wave. Z polarized wave, whose displacement will be given by like this. That is what z of x comma t is equal to a sin kx minus omega t. Z of x comma t is equal to a sin kx minus omega t. So in a similar manner, how we discuss this wave? In a similar manner, but this is what the xz plane. It is what xy plane, no, it is what the xz plane. Then you can write the expression, that is what the wave equation, that is z of x comma t is equal to a sin kx minus omega t. The rest of the terms, that is what a is the amplitude, k is the propagation constant, and x is that is what the direction, right? And omega is the angular frequency, and n is the natural frequency. So t is the time, right? This is the wave equation for a wave which is, there the vibration of the strings are in the xz plane, right? Next, if you observe carefully here itself, you can talk about the polarized and unpolarized wave. Listen carefully. In case of linearly polarized waves, all are transverse waves. All are transverse waves, right? So from these two equations, so whatever the equations we have here, that is what y of xt and z of xt and lambda is equal to 2 pi by k. So based on these small equations what we are getting, based on that you can say linearly polarized waves are all transverse waves. So transverse waves means what? The displacement of each point, the displacement of each point of the string is always at right angles to the direction of propagation of the wave, right? So you can also say that if the plane of vibration of the string is changed randomly, in very short intervals of time, then it is known as unpolarized wave. So concentrate here, we are getting the definition for unpolarized wave. So definition means what is unpolarized wave? Right? So if the plane of vibration, so please imagine what I'm saying. If the plane of vibration of the string is changed randomly in very short intervals of time, then we have what is known as unpolarized wave. So in case of unpolarized wave, the displacement will be, randomly changing with the time. Though it will always be perpendicular to the direction of propagation. So you already know that displacement is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and specific direction. direction, right? So that is, so unpolarized wave. What is unpolarized wave mean? The displacement will be randomly changing with time, though it will always be perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Next, you know very well, light waves are transverse in nature. Light waves are transverse in nature. So the electric field associated with a propagating light wave is always at right angles to the direction of propagation of the wave. So already I told you the starting of this class, what is the light? Light is the electromagnetic wave, which consists of oscillating electric field and magnetic field, which are oscillating perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. So here light waves are transverse in nature. The electric field associated with a propagating light wave is always at right angles to the direction of propagation of the wave, right? So this you can easily demonstrate by using a simple Polaroid. So what is meant by Polaroid? The question is, what is meant by Polaroid? So it is like a thin plastic sheet. It is like a thin plastic sheet. So which we are calling it as Polaroid. Okay. So Polaroid consists of a long chain molecules aligned in a particular direction. Polaroid consists of long chain molecules aligned in a particular direction. Okay, right. So after completion of that, what is the use of this Polaroid, what we are going to achieve and what we are going to do, that is important for us, because we are in a discussion about polarization. So we have to polarize the light. So what happens if a light is going to pass through the Polaroid? That is the interesting topic in this class. See here, a Polaroid, what is Polaroid? I told you, know, it consists of long chain molecules aligned in a particular direction, right? So the electric field vectors, along the direction of the aligned molecules, listen carefully, the electric vectors along the direction of aligned molecules get observed. Then what will happen? An unpolarized light wave is incident on such a Polaroid, then the light wave will get linearly polarized with the electric vector oscillating along a direction perpendicular to the aligned molecules. This direction is known as pos axis of the Polaroid. I will repeat once again. The electric field vectors, right? The electric field vectors along the direction of the aligned molecules get observed. So see, just try to observe what is going to happen when a light is going to incident or when a light is going to transmit or will pass through a Polaroid. Okay. So what I am saying is, the electric vectors along the direction of the aligned molecules get observed. Thus, if an unpolarized wave is incident on such a Polaroid, then the light wave will get linearly polarized with the electric vector oscillating along a direction perpendicular to the aligned molecules. This direction is known as the pos axis of the Polaroid. So pos axis is just like a slit. So what we discussed in our previous class, that is what a single slit diffraction is there, no? So like that. Okay, right. Now we are going to experience what is polarization through Polaroids. That is what P1, P2, whatever it may be the name. Okay, see here. First, we are going to take an ordinary source, for example, sodium lamp, passes through a Polaroid sheet P1. So it is one of the Polaroid. Just keep in mind, we can take 2 or 3 Polaroids, right? So what is Polaroid? It is like a thin plastic sheet. So when ordinary source, that is what ordinary light will pass through a Polaroid sheet P1, then it is observed that its intensity is reduced by half. Full stop. Rotating P1 has no effect on the transmitted beam. So here I didn't introduce P2 ma. I am talking about only one Polaroid, that is P1. Right? So when ordinary source of light. So that is what ordinary light, as simple as such. When ordinary light will pass through the Polaroid sheet P1, it is observed that its intensity is reduced by half, so 50%. Rotating P1 has no effect on the transmitted beam and transmitted intensity remains constant. Okay. Now let an identical piece of Polaroid P2 will be introduced before P1. So first source of light, then P1. Now P2 will be between source and P1. So what will happen? Now let an identical piece of Polaroid P2 be placed before P1. So as we expected, the light from the lamp is reduced in intensity on passing through P2 alone. The light from the lamp is reduced in intensity on passing through P2 alone, right? But now rotating P1 has a dramatic effect on the light coming from P2, right? So I am going back here, So we introduced P2 between source and P1. So as expected, so we can see there, as expected, the light from the lamp is reduced in intensity on passing through P2 alone, but now rotating P1 has a dramatic effect on the light coming from P2, full stop. In one position, the intensity transmitted by P2 followed by P1 is nearly zero. When it turned 90 degrees from this position, P1 transmits. When turned by 90 degrees from this position, P1 transmits nearly the full intensity emerging from P2, right? So here he is talking about the rotation of P1, the changing position of P1, right? So that is what he is saying. You can see these pictures also. So what is going to happen in case of P1 and P2? You can see these pictures, observe carefully. Here passage of light, right? Passage of light, that is what through two Polaroids P2 and P1, the transmitted fraction falls from 1 to 0. So 1 means total light is coming, 0 means no light is coming. As the angle between two Polaroids changes from 0 to 90 degrees. And there itself you notice that the light seen through a single Polaroid P1 does not change with angle. The light seen through a single Polaroid P1 does not vary with angle. That is what these pictures are indicating. If you go for these two pictures, what we can understand? The behavior of the electric field vector when light passes through two Polaroids, the transmitted polarization is the component parallel to the Polaroid axis, right? So the double arrows, so whatever the double arrows we kept, that indicates oscillations of the electric field vector, So this experiment, whatever the experiment we did, that is what ordinary source P1. So what happens to the transmitted light? If we change the direction of the P1, what will happen? And introduced P2 between P1 and source, and by changing the direction of the P1 with respect to P2, what will happen? So in this experiment, so what we understood basically, how the light is going to polarize. What is the intensity of the polarized light or transmitted light? That we understood. There is also one formula which was given by famous scientist Malus, so which is called as Malus law, that is I is equal to I naught cos square theta. So how we can understand this formula? So this is the intensity of the transmitted light. This is the intensity of the source light. This is the angle, that is the angle between two Polaroids. That is what here it is between P2 and P1, right? Okay. So here when the light passing through Polaroid P2 gets polarized along the pass axis of P2. If the pass axis of P2 makes an angle theta with the pass axis of P1, then the polarized beam passes through the polaroid P2. The component, that is what, E cos theta, will pass through P2. So as simple as such, you can write I is equal to I naught cos square theta. So just now I explained you how that angle is going to change with respect to, in case of one polaroid, with respect to another polaroid, right? So I already told you when I was explaining, this is what happening when a source of light, otherwise when ordinary light is going to pass through the polaroid sheet P1, right? After that you are going to introduce P2, that is between source and P1. Then what happens, right? So what happens to the intensity of light, and what about the direction of transmitted light? At last we got one equation to get the intensity of the transmitted light or polarized light, that is I is equal to I naught cos square theta, right? So while watching this YouTube video, you keep the textbook also one side, go through each and every line. Here each and every line is important. Throughout this class, from here, this is what, if the light from ordinary source to this. So this is the main part. Here only we are understanding what is polarization, how we are polarizing the light, and what is the intensity of the transmitted light or polarized light. Okay. So afterwards, these polarides, so whatever I told you, like thin plastic sheets, these polarized we are using to control the intensity, right? In sunglasses, what is sunglasses, you know, right? So we are using, and we can also brought from Amazon, like that online stores, right? And window pans, right? So while constructing the house, so how much amount of light we need to allow, whether the light need to allow or not, right? Based on that, so what type of window pans, what type of material we have to use for the window pans, that also decides the polarization of light, right, etc. So these are the daily life applications. So one is to control the intensity in sunglasses and window pans, and in another side we can also use these polaroids in photographic cameras and 3D movie cameras also, right? So 3-dimensional movie cameras. So in this class we focus to discuss what is polarization. Before going to discuss the polarization, initially we discussed what about the electromagnetic wave, what about the transverse wave, and what is the wave equation, and what is the propagation constant, what is wavelength, and what is amplitude. Afterwards we discussed what is unpolarized wave, then what is polaroid. Afterwards we discussed a small experiment. So what is that small experiment means? So how the ordinary light is going to polarize. When there is only single polaroid, what will happen? When there are two polaroids, what will happen? By changing the angle of one polaroid with respect to another polaroid axis, what will happen to the intensity and what happens to the direction of transmitted light. Okay. So these are the observations we observed from this small experiment, and these are the pictures while doing the experiment. These are the positions of polaroid 1 and polaroid 2. After completion of the discussion, we got one important relation to calculate the intensity of the polarized light, that is I is equal to I naught cos square theta, which is called as Malus law, right? Thank you. We will continue in the next class.